Before you do any design, there is absolutely one question that you must ask the client. I'm Roy, a web UI designer based in the UK. What is the business goal? The business goal is to get 1,000 subscribers from the website and then to offer paid courses or a subscription for extra design tips. And how are you going to achieve that? Well, the website is going to provide value to subscribers by giving articles and videos. Hopefully over time there will be organic traffic to the website. So rather than spend money on advertising, we would rather spend our resources on content. Why would a user choose you? Well, we have a YouTube channel called Awesome, and currently it is due to be rebranded into Ready Designer 1. We already have some awesome subscribers on the channel who leave some wonderful comments. We would like to ask a favor to all our subscribers to please leave a testimonial in the comment section. Bonus brownie points if you could email your testimonial with your name and even your job position. You can even tweet me in the description below with your testimonial, and then this will put some social proof onto our website. And why use social proof? Because it would hopefully build trust with the user.
Asking me questions. Yeah, I know you, but we ain't friends. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, we in this section, but you can't get in. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, I got the new Chrysler, blue at the 10.
So with this information, what we need to design is a hero section to help achieve the business goal. So we're going to start off the hero section by hitting the T, and then we're going to say header. And for now, we're going to make this super big. Command A, and we're going to make this around 72. And the font is IBM Plex Mono. So this is going to be the header 1, and this is going to be the value proposition, and then after that we're going to have a subtext which is how, and we are going to then bring this down. So this could be something like, let's say 32, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have a subscribe, and we are also going to do a very quick button. So we're going to do Shift A, that's auto layout, and here we can have spacing. So we're going to say 12, 24, 12, 12 and 24. Now this one, we are going to make this bigger. So currently we've got 32. And this one we're going to say around 20. I'm just going to fill this in. So I'm just going to keep that white for now. So I'm zooming in. And let's just have a quick look. Okay. So here I'm going to make the line height, let's just say 24. So that is 48. Okay. And what I'm going to do is very quickly just duplicate that, and this is going to be the your email. This will be your email input, and this we're going to give it a different color. So we want this to be high contrast to stand out. So for now we're completely designing in black and white, which is a very good way to start because we want to keep things very simple. And here we're going to go with white text. Okay, great. So if I zoom out, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some, well, for now what we're going to do, we're just going to combine these. So here, if I do this, it is not fluid, so I have to hit enter, and I want this to fill container. This one, we don't have to make it fill container, so we just Command Z, and that's fine. And then what we can do is combine both of them, so Shift A, and get rid of the spacing. So now, let's see, if I was to do that, it's not working. So this one, I actually want that to fill container. So now, if we do this, we very quickly did a email subscribe form or field. And if I was to do the spacing here, let's say 12, sometimes it's quite tricky. Clip content. So now you can see we made that nice rounded style, and we could probably be not too big, and let's be more generous with the spacing. So I'm going to say 16, 16, and this is also going to be 16 and 16 to have some social proof. So I'm thinking that these are pretty big, so I'm going to bring this right down to, let's say, 24, and I'm going to duplicate that, and this is going to be hopefully one of your testimonials. I'd be grateful if you can send in a testimonial, and what would make the testimonial really nice is your full name, even a job title or your company. That would be even better, or a social handle like on Twitter. That would be awesome. Next thing to do is we're going to very quickly do a avatar. So again, I'm using the 8-point grid, so everything divisible by 8, so I'm going to say 48. We can make that bigger. Let's add another 8, so let's say 56 and 56. And then there is one piece of, well, there is one plugin, so command / called Content Reel, and this is a really good plugin which you can find in the community. And this can let us get an image, and I go to avatar and I'll pick one of my favorites, which is this, and straight away you get the avatar in, which is really, really nice. So we have our testimonial, we have the name, and we have where they are from. So we could probably join these, developer at Star Labs. And in terms of typography, we can start playing around with hierarchy. So hierarchy, the first thing they see is this, then this, then this, and then they have a social proof. So I think the name and the title is probably the least important. So you can say 14. So here's just very, very simple. So what we're going to do very quickly is join these two. So Shift A, we're going to say spacing between those is, let's say 4 or 8. Again, we're using the 8-point grid. And then we combine these two, so Shift A, and let's say the spacing of that is 24, and vertically align in the middle. So we can actually bring these closer, let's say 16. Great. Another thing to consider is we might want to have an image. So if I just draw a random frame there. So this is typically what a hero section will be, and the header is the value proposition. So I think that heading is pretty big, so I'm going to start going down. So let's say 56, and then the line height we can say 64. Here I'm just going to go down here. So learn web design with projects. How? So watch. We're saying the value proposition which we have to improve, and here we're going to then say how they can achieve learning web design. Why would they subscribe? Well, keep up to date on the latest design. So this is just an example of why they should subscribe, and that is just very simple. So again, we're going to start going down, let's say 18. Okay, so this is like the label. I'm just going to combine these, and we can bring these closer. Should we say 4, or let's say 8? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start combining everything into one auto layout. So the quick way to do that is just to select all of these and then do Shift A. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start combining some. So these two, we could put them closer together. So Shift A, let's say there's a spacing of around 24. And then these two, we could bring them closer together. So Shift A, we could say spacing of around 24. Nice. So here, what I want these to do is to fill the container. So I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to say fill container. I'm just going to go here and delete. So now if I was to just do this, you can see it's not fluid. So I'm going to go in here and hit fill container. So hopefully now that should start being more fluid. Okay, that's great. So these are not fluid, which is fine. So what we can do is we can say, hey, let's fill container. And if we go here, let's just try that again. Okay, so that is filling. So if we go in here, we can say fill container. And again, you just have to keep going into these layers. So enter, enter. Let's see, fill container. Okay, that didn't work so well, which is okay. This one we can say fill container. And then the testimonial, we can also say fill container. And then these two in here, we hit enter. We want to fill container. Then this one, fill container. Everything is filling container. Wowzers. So what that means is now it's nice and flexible. And probably the last one that is not flexible is the label. So if I go into the label, I'll also say fill container. And now you can see it's completely fluid. Okay, that is great. Okay, so the next thing to do is to put in an image. And I found one on Mixkit. And if we go to here and we go to image, choose image. On the desktop, this is called Mixkit Exhausted Man. And I think this is pretty cool. There's a bit of humor to it. And I think we're trying to show that there are better ways of learning, easier ways to learn, and stop being tied in tutorial hell. So we've done that image. Let me just bring this back up. And all we have to do is combine these two. So Shift A, and we'll also have some spacing around of 80 or padding around. We're also going to give this a color of white. So now we've got a nice hero section. If we just do that, you can see it's not fluid. So I just hit enter, and here we just have to fill container. So now you can nicely make it fluid, and now we can name that hero section. Okay, great. And then one thing to do here is we can also make the placeholder, because we have a background of white, we need to make this a slightly light gray, and we just have to play around with contrast. But as exploration, I think that is good enough. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the hero section into the concept of the home page. So for reference, I'm going to Command D. And just one thing I notice here is we can put the spacing. So let's say 40. And here we do the same thing, so 40. So now we're using values that are divisible by 8 or 4. And here we're just going to duplicate this as well. So we've got a really nice reference. And now if I were to cut this, go in here and then Command V, go up, and then I can hide that header if we don't want it. And this one I just want to fill container. So now the nice thing is we've got a nice hero section. And now another concept is we might want this to be full bleed. So if I go here, I get rid of the padding around and I get rid of the spacing between. And this one, I actually want the spacing to be around 80. Nice. And then the image, I actually want that to fill container. So now if I were to just do this, you can see it's nice and fluid. The last thing is you can see here that the content is going out. So we'll be able to show a prototype in a future video of how to present the design. So yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. So in the next video, we're going to look to do another iteration.
Quit asking me questions. Yeah, I know you, but we ain't friends. Quit asking me questions. Yeah, we in this section, but you can't get in. Quit asking me questions.